As we celebrate 30 years, RSI is thankful for the countless people who brought us to this milestone. Please join us in a brief walk down memory lane, sprinkled with a few pearls of wisdom from friends and colleagues.
A pearl of wisdom from retired Southern Illinois University law professor Suzanne Schmitz. It is hard to believe that RSI is 30 years old. ADR is one of the success stories of the legal system of the last century, and RSI is one of the contributors to its success in Illinois. A pearl of wisdom from American Arbitration Association International Center for Dispute Resolution Foundation Executive Director Tracy Frisch. To the Resolution Systems Institute on this milestone anniversary, keep pushing the boundaries, stay bold in your vision, grounded in your values, and unafraid to invest in ideas that make justice more accessible, especially for those who need it most. Thank you for what you do.
Resolution Systems Institute began as an idea by a small group of judges and lawyers gathered in a hotel lobby after a mediation training. They envisioned a nonprofit that would assist court mediation programs, share info on court ADR, and build networks of ADR professionals. Hey, that's you! The Honorable Harris H. Agnew, for whom RSI's Service to Community Award is named, was the Chief Circuit Court Judge in Rockford, Illinois. He was on RSI's executive committee from the start and served as its chair for over a decade.
A pearl of wisdom from RSI board member and retired professor Jim Alfini. We began to refer to Harry Agnew as the Johnny Appleseed of court ADR in Illinois. He was tireless in traveling the state, speaking in every circuit on the benefits of court-sponsored mediation. We owe a large debt of gratitude to Judge Agnew for being the spark that kindled the flame of court ADR in Illinois, as well as nationwide.
Susan M. Yates became our executive director in 1997. She would go on to lead RSI for the next 27 years. RSI wouldn't be what it is today were it not for Susan.
A pearl of wisdom from former RSI executive director Susan Yates. Seemingly small actions had a huge impact on my life, so I encourage us all to keep doing those small things. Speak to a class, respond to an email, meet people, invite someone to get involved, hire someone because they are good.
In 1999, Susan hired RSI's second staff member, Jennifer Schack. Unfortunately, Jen said she could only stay at the job for 18 months. On March 20th, 2025, we celebrated Jen's 26th anniversary with RSI. Hiring Jen, Susan said recently, was the best decision I ever made at RSI. Together, Susan and Jen have been the driving forces behind RSI for over 25 years.
A pearl of wisdom from RSI board member Professor Allison Carroll. Relationships don't just happen, they require time, care, and attention. This is a core insight of restorative justice. We don't teach restorative practices solely as a tool for addressing past harms. We teach them as a framework for being in right relationship with one another, even and especially before conflict arises. Community is something we build together.
The same year Jen was hired, at the request of magistrate judges in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Illinois, RSI created a database to help the court collect data on cases reaching agreement and settlement conference. As you may have guessed, one of those magistrate judges was Judge Morton Denlow.
A pearl of wisdom from the Honorable Morton Denlow, retired, who is an RSI board member. Judge Denlow's 7 C's, advantages for settlement over litigation. 1, client control over the outcome. 2, contain costs, opportunity costs, emotional costs, litigation costs. 3, certainty of outcome. 4, creative resolution possible. 5, confidentiality of settlement. 6, continuing relationship. 7, closure.
In 2001, RSI created its original resource center, an expansive database of court ADR resources. RSI was an early user of the internet to disseminate reliable information on ADR. Since the early 2000s, Jen has been making a mark for RSI with her high-quality court ADR research. Her projects have included evaluations of foreclosure, child protection, eviction, juvenile, and family mediation programs, and notable studies of online dispute resolution programs. Jen digs into what makes ADR work and how to make it accessible to as many people as possible. A Pearl of Wisdom from RSI Director of Research Jennifer Schack. A gift conflict has given me is insight. Individuals can hold very different perspectives on issues and have valid reasons for holding them. Conflict gives me the opportunity to recognize those differences and understand an issue more completely, helping me identify a more effective solution to it. RSI responded to the foreclosure crisis by offering resources, technical assistance, and mediator training to courts across the U.S. And beginning in 2013, RSI designed and administered foreclosure mediation programs in 3 Illinois counties. RSI more than doubled in size to respond to the crisis.
A pearl of wisdom from an anonymous friend. A gift that conflict has given me is choice. Realizing that I am empowered to choose the way I respond has freed me from feeling out of control to being profoundly empowered to make the next best choice based on the information that I have.
In 2013, RSI became an independent nonprofit after 18 years under the generous wing of the Center for Conflict Resolution. In 2017, RSI began to administer a child protection mediation program in Kane County, Illinois. It was just the 3rd such program in the state.
A pearl of wisdom from RSI mediator Kathy McCoy. Mediation has truly changed the way I interact with everyone, even when it comes to communication with friends and family. I hope that family members would say my listening and communication skills have improved over the past few years.
RSI likes to say we wrote the book on court ADR. That's because we published our Guide to Court ADR Program Success, a step-by-step manual for designing, managing, improving, and/or evaluating a court ADR program on our website. In 2018, RSI launched Mediation Efficacy Studies, the Internet's most comprehensive collection of resources on the subject of court mediation effectiveness. Amid a looming eviction crisis spurred by the COVID-19 pandemic, in 2020, RSI assessed interest in eviction mediation in 13 Illinois jurisdictions. In 2021, RSI developed and began to administer eviction mediation programs in 3 judicial districts. In 2022, RSI's eviction mediation programs operated in judicial districts serving over 920,000 Illinois residents. The programs helped thousands avoid the traumatic effects of a sheriff's eviction. They also connected tenants to rental assistance, making it more possible for them to meet the financial needs of landlords.
A pearl of wisdom from Alec Chapa, Principal, Mosaic Collaborative Consulting. Conflict has given me insight into what's really important in my life, including what I am and am not willing to compromise on or sacrifice.
In 2023, RSI embarked on the Trust Project, research into the intersection between mediator behaviors and party trust. RSI began working on our ODR Party Engagement Project in 2024. Through the Open Project, we have created and shared practical tools to help courts improve communications with parties, especially those who do not have an attorney. In March 2025, we shared our newest set of open tools for courts.
A pearl of wisdom from RSI Board President Brian Roach. People get hauled into court unexpectedly. They don't have resources to hire a lawyer for a long fight. Really, all they want to do is tell their side of the story to the other side. They can hear the other side, and they can get a neutral person to help resolve it. And most of the time, things get resolved that way.
In mid-2024, Susan Yates stepped aside from RSI to pursue her dream job, fostering puppies. Oh yeah, she also has a thriving career as an expert ADR trainer and consultant. In June 2024, Heather Fogg became RSI's Chief Executive Officer after a nationwide search and unanimous approval by RSI's Board of Directors.
A pearl of wisdom from RSI Chief Executive Officer Heather Fogg. One gift that conflict has given me is courage. Courage to speak up even when I'm afraid, because each person I have been with in an ADR process showed the courage to speak of something they needed or wanted, even when they were afraid they might not be well received.
RSI officially turned 30 on April 22nd, 2025, and we are ready to celebrate. But RSI's work is far from done. We have tons of big ideas and ADR dreams for the coming years. We look forward to celebrating with you again in another 30 years. Okay, probably before that. RSI is immensely grateful to our financial supporters, including the following: the AAA-ICDR Foundation, the M.R. Bauer Foundation, the Illinois Equal Justice Foundation, JAMS Foundation, and the Rackham Foundation.